Hello, I am the Benjamin here. Welcome to this guide and tutorial on on possibly the hardest class in this game to master, the specialist. Um, I've split this video up in multiple sections, being the default 3 star cards, the upgrades for these star cards, the remaining ability cards, so the repulsory cannon and whatnot, the boost cards, so your survivalist, your bounty hunter, the blasters, the guns to use, and at the end we'll go for get some gameplay, some strategies to use, how to get the best out of this class. Timestamps for all of these will be in the description and in the comment section below. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. So the default 3 cards on the class. You have the shock grenade, the infiltration, and the thermal binoculars. These are your 3 starter abilities. You have the shock grenade. This is great for if you're charging the enemy and there's multiple of them coming. You just throw them down, you stun them, and you have an easier chance, a better chance of killing them. Now they can still shoot back, so be careful, but they're not as mobile anymore. It's going to be a lot easier. Infiltration is the ability you'll use quite a lot if you're more of the aggressive route. If the sitting back with the sniper isn't your style, you'll use infiltration a lot. And the thermal binoculars is a great way to know where the enemies are coming from. You can see them through walls, and it's very useful. I would say if this is essential for the specialist experience. That's why I say do not replace this card with a shield later on. Just keep this card on. Heck, even you have the upgraded version of this. The shock grenade has this card, which will give it a longer duration and a bigger radius. This one is for the thermal binocular, where if you actually have an enemy in the open, you can mark them and it will be highlighted on your screen. They will have a little red outline. This will make it longer. It's not that useful because you'll never be doing that anyway. It just takes a lot of time. It's just better to just scope in with your gun and do it that way. And then you have the scramble infiltration. Basically it scrambles the radar of the enemy when you get close to them, so they don't know where you're coming from. Now it is useful if there's the rest of your team nearby, so that they are able to push up better, because they don't know, the enemy doesn't know where you're coming from now. So that can be an advantage. Then you have kill streak infiltration, which basically every kill you get with the ability, it replenishes a bit of the timer on it. I would say you want to use hard on the infiltration. You get, like, I believe 20 or 10% damage reduction on this card. So that's very nice. And if you upgrade this, you'll get it back quicker. So without any further ado, let's equip these 3 cards. And let's go to the rest of the cards. So the rest of the ability cards are the trip mine, the personal shield, the repulsory cannon, and the stinger pistol. So let's go to the trip mine. You can place down 2 of these at a time. These are great for trapping people, but you'll find you'll not be getting many kills with this. So keep that in mind, but it's still fairly useful because you can place down 2. Now how to use this card, you go to a hallway and you crouch down and you place it on ankle level around the corner, so they don't see the laser, and then they trip over it and they die. we have the personal shield. It's like in the last game and on Iden, it's shield 2 from any damage until the shield is gone. It's good for making a quick escape, although you'll find that by the time that you've activated this, you are most likely already dead. So you have to kind of time this right for it to work. So you can regen your health, you pop your bubble, and you're ready to go again. So now we have the Stinger pistol. This is a secondary, it will replace your shock nade. It basically pops out a little pistol with a burning effect on it. The enemy will take a little damage every second with this pistol. Now you will never get really many kills with this. I would say this is probably one of the more useless cards in this class. But it will make for a nice challenge. Yeah. And then we have the last card, the repulsory cannon. That's basically like a little force push in your pocket. You have two activations on this, just like with the trip mine. Now, I've had people use this against me quite a lot. They never were able to kill me. So it's quite useless in that regard. So I would say, if there's any of these cards that you should use, I would say replace this one with the trip mine. Although you do want to use, as we previously went over, you do want to have the wall hack ability of this. But yeah, let's go now to the boost cards. We have been over the ability cards and we've determined which ones are the best to use. Let's now go over to the boost cards. You have Stealth, Marksman, Bounty Hunter, Expert Weapons Handling, Survivalist, Resourceful, Brawler, and Bodyguard. Now the boost cards on this class have an interesting thing, and that thing is that they're all useful in this class. So let's go over all of these cards and how they can be useful. So Stealth, you'll remain hidden on the scanner, so when you shoot your gun you will not pop up on anyone's map. So you can just really flank with this. Now, as well as this, your melee damage is 125. Now this one is very good if you pair it with Brawler. Basically on every melee kill you get health back. Now as you can see on tier 4 you get 100 health back. So if you're on only 1 health and you get a melee kill, you're back to full immediately. So yeah, these two are really good together, especially if you have them upgraded. And even if you don't have them upgraded, they're still really good. Now these two cards really go well with the personal shield. This one, every kill you get more time on the E4 ability. And the E4 ability you run faster with, so you get to the enemies quicker. So you can see why you would want to use an infiltration if you're running around meleeing everyone. Like what you will do with these two cards equipped. So, the other cards, we have Resourceful, that every ability has a higher recharge. If you pair that with this one, you have your hardened infiltration back in like 14 seconds, which is great. So yeah, this one is just great for every card you're using, almost every loadout. But there's other cards that are really good too. For example, we have Bodyguard. On Bodyguard, you have explosive damage reduction and you take less damage from gas. And you know that there's a lot of nade spam in this game, and this is a really good way to counter it, especially on the Specialist, because the Specialist is very fragile, as you've already noticed. If you have played with it a few times, you die in like one burst and whatnot, and you know, it seems like every nade that gets thrown at you blows you up. With this, you have a higher chance of surviving it. Talking about survivability, we have Survivalist. This card is essential on this class. The Survivalist has the shortest health regeneration in the game. This card makes that even shorter. It has half the health of a heavy, but the health regeneration is twice as fast as the heavy. So, and with this, it is even faster than that. You start regenerating your health after 3 or 4 seconds on tier 3, And on tier 4 it's even more insane than that. It's like, you know, you just hide in cover for a few seconds and you're back in business. Talking about staying in the gunfight, we have marksman and expert weapons handling. Expert weapon handling, if you hit the cooling success thing, the minigame thing with the yellow bar when you overheat your gun, it will be yellow longer, so it can shoot more. The same thing goes for this gun. If you hit a headshot, your health, your overheat resets to 0, and it will take a bit longer for your next overheat to hit. So these two cards can really go well together. And then we have the last card, the last boost card. It's Bounty Hunter. This one is really good if you are leveling up this class, because after the recent update, you unlock these cards by leveling up the class. So by getting this card you have to hit like level 30, so that will take a while. This one you'll reach that level 30 to get this card a lot quicker, and that's just really useful. So yeah, from all the boost cards I would say you want to replace these two cards with this card for sure, and this card. Now if you're leveling up, do this. This is your loadout you want to use. If you're sniping, if you're aggressive, whatever. So the guns. You have the default sniper rifle. Now the default rifle is the same on every class. And this is just, it's a good gun for if you're semi-aggressive. It's not really a good sniper like the other two, like the other guns. I definitely say this is the weakest gun, but it is a good introduction to the class, and it's a good introduction as to what kind of style you should go for. If you find yourself sitting back more with this gun, go and use the IQA and the NT242. If you find yourself pushing enemies a lot, go with this gun. So let's just go over these guns in order, right? So with the IQA, you just unlocked it. You have 3 attachments. You have dual zoom, bolt speed, and improved cooling. Now, improved cooling and bolt speed are the cards to go on this. Dual zoom is not that useful on this gun. Now this gun is good if you're trying to get the NT242, but after that, I would say you don't want to use this gun anymore, because the NT242 outguns this gun really badly. So yeah. Now then we go over to my personal favorite gun in this class, and the gun you want to use for the aggressive playstyle. That's the A280 CV. The dual zoom attachment, burst mode, and ion shot. Ion shot is good if you're up against a lobby of heavies, but otherwise I would say this is the only one that you want to equip on it. The burst mode. Now without the burst mode, it's kind of like a semi-auto A280C from the assault class, and with burst mode it turns like into the E3 from the last Battlefront. It has the same fire rate, almost the same damage, and it's just really good. Yeah, I equip dual zoom on this. Sometimes I use it, but not a lot. But yeah, this is your go-to aggressive gun. You find yourself getting a lot of headshots with this gun. So marksman is really good on this. Now, all these guns here though, I have to say that they require a lot of skill. They require skill to have good aim with. You cannot just spray and pray like with the heavy guns. So you really have to teach yourself. And I would say play a lot of arcade with these guns. Try to get good with them. Now, and I would even say turn off aim assist with the assault, and kind of practice with that to go over to the specialist class. So that's my tips on how to get good with these guns. Now with burst mode, this gun becomes god mode. It outguns blurks. It can one burst people. So that's great. And then we have here the NT242. Now you can use this as well for aggressive play as a quickscope gun, like in Call of Duty. But this is more the sniper. Now you have dual zoom again, improved cooling, and disruptor shot. Disruptor shot is amazing on vehicles. Like if you equip this, you become a tank buster like crazy. You can blow up tanks in like 4 shots if you sneak on behind them and hit them in the weak spot. It's amazing. Now even without, you can do a lot of damage on tanks and vehicles. But with that, it's lethal. Now it's a one shot on any player, infantry player, if you had a headshot. Now those are pretty hard to hit, but you can hit them, and again, marksman is really good for that. But this only has a 4-round magazine, so you want to equip this to make it a 5-round. The heat will go down a bit, so you can fire 5 shots before it overheats. So that's a lot better. And then dual zoom again. This is actually a gun I would say dual zoom is nice on, because you will find yourself having very long range distance gunfights with this. So yeah, those are the guns. Now I would say if you're a sniper, this is your go-to gun. If you are an aggressive player, this is your go-to gun. And I'm an aggressive player. And I would say if you are not good at sniping, and if you just come from the assault and the officer, you like the playstyles with those, try to unlock the A280 CV and rock with that. Now there is one thing though that this gun has. There are a few things actually. It's the third gun. It's the second gun you unlock. So you have to get like 200 kills, I believe, to get it with the other 2 guns. Or the E4 ability. So that will take a while, especially if you're not good with the other guns. But I would say it's worth the grind. Now, for the burst mode attachments, which really makes this gun good, you have to get another 75 kills as of right now. Now if you have the Elite Trooper edition, you will get this gun and with the dual zoom attachment and the trip mines, and I would say that's a good way. But if you have the Elite Trooper edition, go straight away with this gun. I did that, it's great. Yeah. So there is 3 things that I should do if I were you, if you want to play specialist, and that I do as well. First thing is to know where the enemy is. This you do by using the scout binoculars at the beginning of the match to know where the enemies are going to, and you can hold them back from reaching the objective, like in the gameplay right here on Strike. We won this match incredibly easy, 2 rounds only. They didn't even destroy an objective. But as well as using infiltration, the enemies will pop up on your radar / minimap, and that's also an important thing. There's other abilities on other classes that will reveal the enemy's position as well. So keep an eye out on your minimap. So because maybe an assault player is using a star card that reveals the enemy's position for you as well, or a hero like Ray does it, right? So keep an eye out on that minimap. Another thing is give the enemy a hard time. Do not give them the satisfaction of getting an easy kill. So you do this by immobilizing them with like your shock grenade or your repulsor cannon, or your stinger pistol, right? Just these all kind of stun them a bit. But if you don't have these, I would say roll and jump around like a madman. Be hard to hit, throw their aim assist all over the place, that they cannot rely on it, that heck, they cannot even do anything because aim assist is really strong, and by jumping and rolling around, aim assist becomes useless and they become useless. So, and then the last thing is stay on the move. Now this kind of already talked about this, but you need to take cover when you have to take cover. Like when you get shot at by, if you're sniping and you get hit and you're like 25 health, pop your shield, and get to cover, right? If you're not using the shield, just get to cover, crouch into your cover or something. And if you have this survivalist, you're right back with full health. They don't expect you to pop out that soon. You throw them off guard and you have the chance of killing them. Yeah, you know, live to fight another day, like the clones say. You know, don't, again, you want to stay alive. You don't want to be an easy target. So I would say, whenever if you are sniping again, whenever you take a shot, roll. So that they cannot, sometimes you have this where you both shoot at the same time. If you roll after you shoot, you might survive. And you live to fight another day. You know, and don't stand still. If you're sniping, kind of move left and right, back and forth a little bit, so that when they decide to shoot, but mainly just left and right, but so when the enemy shoots at you, you've moved away from where the shot was aimed at. And don't camp. If you're aggressive and you know you're camping the same doorway and you got like 6 kills, these 6 kills, if they were on different people, they will go to that spot and they will know where you are. So if you're camping a doorway, first be on the left side of the doorway, then you know, when you kill a few people, go to the right side, and then just do this. And again, this is where your trip mines go in handy, because they don't expect, again, a trip mine to be there, because most people don't use them. Most people don't even play specialists. Normally you'll find yourself being the only specialist in the lobby, especially if you're playing smaller modes like Strike and Blast. So yeah, the heck, they don't even expect an aggressive specialist. Yeah, surprise is your greatest ally with this. Mobility is another great ally. Yeah, you just want to be surprising them. Like a crazy map man rolling around, jumping around. And that's all I can give you. The rest is up to you. I've just given you some inspiration on how to use this and what to do with this class. But there's more to this class, and maybe you can figure that out yourself. I don't know if I'm going to do this for the other classes. The other 3 classes are very simple and straightforward. Like, this is the only class that people have trouble with. And that's because no one plays it, and that's just because it's really hard to get good with this. Now, I hope this helped you getting better at this class. If it did, I have a lot of gameplay with this class on my channel. Analyze it or something. I'll continue playing this gameplay on the background here. I used most of the strategies in it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Have an hour-long guide on the specialist class. I hope you had some use of it again. And maybe I'll see you in some of my live streams and something. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for joining. And I will see you in the battlefield. Battlefront. Shit. Bye-bye.
Watch this! Go and die. to the target outpost. You were the chosen one! Look online! Deploying grenade! Let's go, troopers. We're not done yet. Grenade deployed. Going down. Managed to stay one step ahead on this one. Area secure.